Hey all. Today we're going to be looking at creating a tornado in a box. Now, it's not going to be an actual tornado. Instead, we're using the fog that's created by dry ice when it comes in contact with warm water to simulate the clouds and debris that would form the tornado, just to see that rotation, just to see, kind of give you a model of the tornado. And so we're going to, if you want to try this yourself, definitely have adult supervision. Dry ice can have its dangers, especially if it touches your skin. By no means should you ever ingest it. And having safety protocols in place to protect yourself are a must. And so when you go ahead and do this, what you will do is you'll go ahead and create a box, and it's got a you'll want to put a window pane on it. You can use any material, but if you really want something quick and easy, I would suggest cardboard. Along with having the cardboard and then some plexiglass to use as windows, you'll also need an X-Acto knife, assuming you're using the cardboard version. And you also want to get some black paint, and it's really advisable to have some lights. What I found is without the lights, you tend to have an issue that you see your reflection more, and it's harder to see the tornado inside. And so I highly recommend the lights. Also notice that the inside of the box I painted black. That will actually help you differentiate the tornado from the sides of the box. When you when you put it together, you're going to go ahead and have a section for a door, and then you're also going to have, if you want an extra window, you're going to have you're going to want to cut out an area for an extra window in another side. You also want to have an epoxy. What I did is I actually used epoxy and tape to attach the plexiglass ports to the cardboard. You'll want to go ahead and make sure to put these little channels in, and you want them to be on the same side on each side. By that I mean, if you look, I've got mine to the right, and then if you look again, I've got it to the right here. The distance doesn't matter too much, but I decided to make it as close as I could to the others, and so I measured it out. Just as long as you have this somewhere in the general area that you have it for each one, because what that'll do is that'll draw in the air and help you get that cyclonic motion. So as mentioned, by putting the slits in with the box, which you would have here, 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 and here, you see that the airflow will come in and it creates that vortex. And so this is another way of looking at it. And in fact, if you were to cover all of the ports, you wouldn't, the fan that goes up here would not necessarily get the full cyclonic motion that you want to get. You should use a battery powered fan, and I'll put a link for Amazon to show you the one I used. So this is what it'll look like when you have it all put together. And I actually, for my lights that I added, I can actually use a remote to turn it on, which is very helpful. And I can get different colors, and it actually came on 2 different colors. But I can always change them, and the one remote should work for both. As you can see, I push green, and I got that. I'll push purple. And, oh, sorry, that's actually blue. Here's the purple. And so you can change your colors as you see fit. When we actually did ours, we found that even though the purple gave it a cool look, which you will see, what isn't shown is that when you have it on the white, you actually get kind of the best look at the funnel that is formed. Now let's take a look at the results of the tornado in a box. Now I go ahead and slow it down here so you could get a better look at the shape, especially if you are trying to draw it. Sorry, I'll be a sec, guys. I'll just be a sec. So if you noticed, when I put the dry ice into the water, you see it fog up, and then when I put the fan on, you see it start getting that rotation. And then the rotation starts the fog going upwards, creating that vortex. Now, in real life, that would actually be inverted. By that I mean that what you saw was upside down. The tornado actually would form up in the clouds and then come down into to touch on to the ground. I'm borrowing someone's, just a heads up. I'm going to go ahead and block one of them. Let's see what happens when you block one of the inlets.
It keeps pushing us up, so.
Yeah, here.
Looks like you need to add another dry
I would take a
Okay,
picture, but my
does
phone is
anybody
dead.
know? Hey, guys, we went ahead and covered 2 spots. Does anybody notice the difference? Excuse me. Is it going slower?
Spinning smoke, yeah, you
Is
can
it
do
going
that.
slower? Okay, that makes that's different.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Okay, and we'll put this on this side.
Touch it, Miss J.
I'm not,
Yep.
I promise.
Touch it.
Okay, guys, having 3 done, do you notice that it's a little more unincorporated?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, listen up. Hey, listen up. So, if you guys want to take a look, because we have 3 covered, it's not as incorporated. What you're seeing here is that because the 3 slots in the box are covered, it does not get the vortex as strong as it normally would. So what I want you to notice is I'm having to pour more water in. This is because the dry ice actually chilled the water enough that it was making so the funnel wasn't as big. As soon as you notice, as soon as I put hot water in, it built the fog again. So if you noticed, in the box there will be a bowl, so you will need a bowl that can handle hot water. Even better, if you can get a metal bowl and use a hot plate with it, you can actually keep the funnel going easier because you won't have to be going back in to heat the water. Another thing that I would highly suggest is getting yourself a disposable ice chest, unless you want to use a regular ice chest. Do not store dry ice in your freezer. It can actually cause your freezer to think that there's an issue and cause it to stop working. Another thing that is a must is you need to have tongs or gloves to be able to handle the dry ice. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, due to the nature of dry ice and how the temperature of dry ice, which is very cold, it can cause damage to your skin. So as you can see in the video, you get a general idea of how a funnel forms, and you get a general idea just from the model of what it kind of looks like. Tornadoes can take different shapes and can have varying degrees of width. For instance, an EF5 tornado can be miles across, and then you can actually have individual smaller funnels inside of the main debris field that makes up that tornado. You can also have some that are a lot smaller. You can also have tornadoes that take different forms if they perhaps go over water, which that's actually called a water spout. It sucks up that water, and so you have that water in amongst the tornado as part of its debris. You can also have tornadoes that have been able to suck up fire a little bit. And so it can vary on what a tornado looks like. So I hope seeing this video helps you understand about how a tornado would look. Unfortunately, it doesn't show anything like what would do, picking things up or any of its destructive capabilities, but unfortunately there's really no way to demonstrate that with a model tornado such as this. It takes a lot of force to pick up objects, and we're not going to be able to harness that in a tornado box. But I hope it did give you an idea of what it looks like, and hopefully you paid a special note to the how it rotated and how that rotation kept it together. And in fact, when we covered up some of the slats, I believe 3 slats, we actually saw that it did not hold its form as well. It still had the rotation, but it didn't hold its form as well. And so it's that rotation that keeps it together. So hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please feel free to subscribe to my videos. I do plan to have some more videos in the future, and hope you had a good time watching tornado form.